He was a larger-than-life figure as a player, a broadcaster, even fan of the Grateful Dead. Today, we are remembering the legend Bill Walton.
And one of the greatest players to ever take the court at UCLA as well. We have team coverage. Let's get right to our Darren Horton. Darren?
Well, Cher, Bill Walton was one of one, a titan of the basketball court, a legend off of it, with a personality larger than his 6'11" frame. He famously proclaimed that he was the luckiest man in the world. The champion of the Conference of Champions, gone in the same year that his beloved Pac-12 is no more. Let's bring in KTLA's Jennifer McGraw live in Westwood with more on the passing of one of basketball's most colorful characters. Jen.
Yeah, with colorful commentary, no doubt. And he was such an institution here at UCLA. And above all, think about this, seeking two different generations, those generations who grew up watching him on the court to generations listening to him on the sidelines.
And one-time league MVP, Bill Walton.
A basketball star, social justice activist, Grateful Dead head and famed voice in broadcasting, the sports world is stunned, losing an icon, both on and off the court. Bill Walton was not only a two-time championship UCLA Bruin with John Wooden's teams, but an institution for the university and three-time National Player of the Year. After college as a first-round draft pick, Walton would go on to take NBA's Portland Trail Blazers to a national championship, garnering the MVP award in 1977. He played several years with the Clippers, and it was then off to the Celtics for 2 seasons and another NBA title before retiring from basketball.
Not Picasso.
No, Picasso I thought it was.
Broadcasting, something he never thought he'd be good at because he had a stutter at times in his life. Turns out he was excellent at that too. Walton was an Emmy winner, eventually was named one of the top 50 sports broadcasters of all time.
My longtime partner, my Paul, a Hall of Famer, the big redhead. What happened to the redhead?
During his career, Walton worked side by side the great Ralph Lawler, the former voice of the Los Angeles Clippers. He tells KTLA Walton was not only knowledgeable, but hysterical and great at the mic.
You thought, this guy is really something, and you feel like you really knew him. And anybody that knew Bill Walton loved him.
And one of Walton's greatest loves, the Grateful Dead, attending more than 1,000 concerts. A Deadhead through and through, and often appearing on camera in his latest T-shirt find.
Party on. It's a wonderful day. It's Oregon. The sun was out.
But aside from the band and basketball, Walton had a passion for politics. He was among the most radical and polarizing athletes in the U.S. For one, standing up against the Vietnam War. He believed in social justice and would lead the march through campus. Of his many accolades, starring in ESPN's 4-part documentary, The Luckiest Guy in the World, he was featured for his countless accomplishments in every facet of his life.
I'm an engaged citizen and part of a team. What is more mainstream than that?
Players around the world posting their condolences to his family and memories they'll cherish, including his Bruin teammate, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, saying, Bill was a fierce player, but off the court, he wasn't happy unless he did everything he could to make everyone around him happy. He was the best of us. The sports world, strangers and dear friends. This news not only shocking, but nearly soul-stopping, especially for Lawler, who, like the rest of us, were unaware of his friend's battle with cancer.
The 13 greatest years of my 60-year broadcast career were those years spent with him, and we fashioned the closest friendship I've ever had with anybody in my entire life, aside from my wife.
A legend that will be honored and forever missed.
I never, ever dreamed that I would outlive Bill Walton, because he should live forever, and in most people who knew him, he will live forever.
Lawler says above all that his friend was extremely generous. He loved his family. He leaves behind a wife and 4 sons, one of them who followed in his father's footsteps to be a player and now coach. Live in Westwood, Jennifer McGraw, KTLA 5 News.
Thank you very much, Jen. Given Walton's larger-than-life personality, reaction to his passing has come from all corners of the world. His former Boston Celtics teammate Larry Bird saying in part, quote, It was a thrill for me to play with my childhood idol, and together we earned an NBA championship in 1986. He is one of the greatest ever to play the game. I am sure that all of my teammates are as grateful as I am that we were able to know Bill. He was such a joy to know, and he will be sorely missed. Another former teammate and current Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle reflecting on how Walton played matchmaker to help him meet his now wife.
I called Bill and I said, look, this is 1987. I got a date with a girl that I think is pretty cool. I'd love to go to the Dead show at Capitol Center. I don't have any tickets. Can you help? And he said, just go to the back door, ask for Dennis McAnally, tell him you're Rick Carlisle from the Boston Celtics, and everything will be just fine. It was an unbelievable night, and you know, obviously it's a good first date. I talked to Luke today for a few minutes. You know, they're doing okay, but it's this has been tough.
Talking about Luke Walton, of course, the former Laker head coach, former Laker Bill Walton's son. We will have more on Walton coming up a little bit later on in sports and throughout the night here on KTLA. Cher, Micah, let's go back to you.
Looking forward to hearing more about Bill Walton later on. Yes. Thank you so much, Darren. In the meantime,